Imagine waking up to a world where your kind still exists, but it's already too late. That's the cruel reality for animals labeled as functionally extinct. These creatures still walk the earth, breathe the same air, and sometimes even make headlines. But their future is already gone. There aren't enough of them to keep the species going. No matter how long they survive individually, their population is too low to recover. This isn't just sad, it's irreversible. And what's even more haunting? We often don't realize a species is functionally extinct until the tipping point has long passed. You might think extinction is when the last animal dies, but the real danger happens in silence. With no one noticing, when we finally do, it's already too late. So what does it truly mean to be functionally extinct? In plain terms, it means a species can no longer play its role in the ecosystem, nor reproduce enough to bounce back. They're still alive, yes, but they've already lost the race against time. Sometimes it's due to habitat destruction. Other times it's poaching, climate change, pollution, or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But no matter the cause, the result is the same. They may linger for decades, even centuries, but the end is inevitable. They're ghosts of what once was. And in many cases, we caused it knowingly or not. And that's where the weight of this truth gets heavier. Take the northern white rhino. 2 females still exist today. But here's the kicker. They can't reproduce naturally anymore. Scientists are racing against time using IVF and frozen cells to resurrect the species. But even if they succeed, can we call it survival lore? Just a technical victory? There's no wild population left. There's no ecosystem for them to return to. No social groups. Just test tubes and laboratories. And the terrifying part, they're not alone. Many more species are teetering on this exact edge right now, unnoticed by most of the world. When a species becomes functionally extinct, ecosystems begin to collapse in slow motion. You may not feel it instantly, but the consequences ripple like shockwaves. Every animal plays a part in maintaining balance. Pollination, seed dispersal, population control, food chain stability. When one link breaks, others follow. It's like removing bricks from the bottom of a tower. It doesn't fall immediately, but it's already crumbling. And some of the animals at risk aren't exotic or distant, they're right in your backyard. The decline is quiet. It's deadly. Think about the vaquita porpoise. Lives in the Gulf of California, and fewer than 10 are believed to exist today. That's not a population, it's a countdown. Every time a new calf is born, hope flares. But with so few individuals, genetic diversity becomes a death sentence. Inbreeding leads to diseases, weak offspring, and shorter lifespans. The species begins to die from the inside out. And even with global attention, illegal fishing nets continue to trap and kill them. Time is not on their side. Time is not on ours either. You may be wondering, can't we just breed them in captivity? The answer isn't so simple. Some animals, like pandas, resist breeding in zoos despite massive efforts. Others, like amphibians, rely on specific environments and bacteria to survive and reproduce. Remove them from their ecosystem, and their biology rebels. Their bodies give up. Breeding programs are a hopeful bandage, but they're rarely a cure. And the longer we wait, the smaller the genetic pool becomes. Eventually, there's nothing left to save. The concept of functional extinction isn't new, but it's accelerating. Climate change is pushing species to their limits. As temperatures rise, habitats shift faster than animals can adapt. Coral reefs bleach, forests burn, oceans acidify, entire regions become unlivable. And some species have nowhere left to go. Imagine trying to run a marathon while the track crumbles beneath you. That's what extinction looks like now. Not with a bang, but with a suffocating silence. The saddest part. Many species become functionally extinct before we even know they're endangered. By the time research is done, data is collected, and alerts are issued. It's too late. Conservation efforts start behind the finish line, and bureaucracy often delays immediate action. Governments argue. Funding runs short, paperwork drags. Meanwhile, animals disappear quietly in the background. The world moves on, but nature doesn't forget. It's not just large animals that are at risk. Insects, frogs, and birds are vanishing at alarming rates. And while we may not miss a tiny beetle or a silent frog, Ecosystems do. Each lost species leaves a hole in the web of life, and those holes multiply. Crops stop pollinating, water gets stagnant, pests rise, disease spreads. Everything is connected, and the collapse starts at the smallest cracks. Let's talk numbers. Over 1 million species are currently at risk of extinction, according to global studies. That's not science fiction, it's fact. And many of them are already functionally extinct, whether we recognize it or not. The Earth is losing biodiversity faster than at any point in human history. It's not just a problem for the future, it's happening now. The sixth mass extinction isn't coming, it's here. One of the biggest misconceptions is that animals go extinct only when hunted. But often, it's the slow destruction of their homes that seals their fate. A forest cut into fragments, river diverted, a mountain turned into a mine. These aren't sudden disasters, but they're deadly. Without food, shelter, and space to breed, animals slowly fade out. And when only a handful remain, they lose their social structure. They lose their will, and then they lose everything. Even when animals survive in zoos or sanctuaries, they often lose their instincts. Without parents to teach them how to hunt, mate, or protect themselves, they're unprepared for the wild. So when conservationists try to reintroduce them, failure is common. Survival isn't just about being alive. It's about knowing how to live. Functional extinction steals that knowledge long before death arrives. Some species are functionally extinct in the wild, but live on in captivity. Spixes, McCollman, famous by the movie Rio, is one example. Nearly all remaining individuals are in breeding centers. The bird technically isn't extinct. But is a bird really free if it never flies in the forest again? That's the dilemma we face. Numbers can deceive. Life in a cage is not life in the wild. And then there's the human emotional cost. People who've dedicated their lives to protecting a species often have to watch it vanish before their eyes. Imagine spending 30 years studying an animal, raising awareness, building hope only to witness its fall. That psychological toll is immense. For every species we lose, a piece of us disappears too. A story ends. A connection breaks. And we are left wondering, could we have done more? Yet even now, some species teetering on the edge have been pulled back. The California condor, the Arabian oryx, the black-footed ferret. Their numbers were once counted on fingers. Now they're slowly rebuilding. It takes science, funding, collaboration, and relentless effort. But it is possible. Functional extinction doesn't always have to be the end. Sometimes it's the final warning. But we need to act long before a species reaches that point. That means supporting protected areas, banning destructive practices, and educating future generations. It means holding corporations and governments accountable. It means treating every living thing as valuable, not just the cute or popular ones. Because extinction doesn't discriminate, neither should our concern. Technology plays a role too. Drones help monitor populations. AI predicts migration patterns. Gene editing could restore lost diversity, but none of it matters without willpower. Tools are only as powerful as the hands that use them. And right now, time is the rarest resource we have. The phrase functionally extinct should terrify us, but also motivate us. It reminds us that life can vanish while we look the other way. That survival isn't just about numbers, but connection, instinct, and purpose. That once a species slips below the surface, there may be no coming back. But while a few individuals still breathe, there's still a window of hope. Every decision we make, from the products we buy to the policies we support, impacts the natural world. It's not about saving the planet, it's about saving the lives we share it with. Because in the end, nature doesn't need us. But we desperately need nature. And every lost species is a warning that we're running out of time and second chances. So the next time you hear the phrase functionally extinct, remember, it's not just a technical term. It's a funeral bell, silent alarm, a sign that we let something precious slip through our fingers. But it's also a challenge, a final call to action. Because for some species, the end is already written. But for others, we might still have time to change the story.